think my PCOS is cured. I'm not even kidding. I think it's gone. Hello, my friend, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I want to share with you how I got pregnant with PCOS and endometriosis after having 2 other children, and update you a little bit on what happened after I had babies with my PCOS and endometriosis, and how that led to me getting pregnant again. If you want to hear my PCOS and endometriosis story, I will link those down below, but we're just going to talk about what's happened since I've had babies and how I got pregnant again. So I am currently pregnant yet again. I'm always pregnant. So I had 2 kids. The first one I got pregnant using Clomid, which is an ovulation drug, and I had endometriosis surgery about a year before I got pregnant with that baby. I also had a few miscarriages in between my pregnancies, so unfortunately that did happen. But I have been pregnant quite a few times, despite having PCOS and endometriosis. And I'm not going to go into the details about what PCOS and endo are, but I will link down below videos about that as well. So if you don't even know what it is, I'll link it down below. So after my first child, I didn't really get to see how things had changed because I got pregnant really quickly. I don't have any cycles at all, meaning I have 0 periods until I'm pretty much done nursing, or I'm at the very, very end of nursing, and I nursed both my children for about a year. So my first child, I nursed for a year, and then I actually got pregnant the very first month after I stopped nursing her. And I really thought at that time that the only reason I got pregnant was because of the change in hormones, and that I likely wouldn't be able to get pregnant any time after that. Was just, the way my brain was thinking, as it was in kind of a mode thinking that things always go wrong for me. So of course that's how I just imagined it would be. But I did get pregnant the very first month. Unfortunately, I miscarried. And after that miscarriage, my doctor did check and see that I still had polycystic ovaries. So I really didn't think I'd be getting pregnant again. And I wasn't sure how my endometriosis would be, but I had always heard that your endo just gets worse every month. Even after you get surgery, it just comes back. So in my mind, I thought chances are slim that I'll get pregnant again. So I'm just gonna do nothing and we'll see what happens. I don't feel ready to do any medications or fertility stuff right now, and I am not in a rush to have another baby. I also felt very comfortable adopting or fostering or going a different route. So I just thought, we'll start going a different route and then we'll see what happens. And 2 months later, I got pregnant and I had my second child. Now, after I had him, same thing happened while I was nursing. I didn't have any cycles until the very end. He did sleep through the night a little bit sooner than my first, and so I think he was around 10 months when I had my first cycle. That was around last July. It is now February. So last July I had my first period, and it wasn't so bad. The first few really weren't that bad, and I actually had a copper IUD in at this time. I knew that probably wasn't a good idea because of endometriosis, because it can cause heavier, more painful periods. And that was my big symptom with endo, is really awful, painful, heavy periods. Because I had 2 periods in between my kids, they weren't that bad. I thought maybe things have changed and I'll be okay. So I decided to just try it. And the first few months my period was back were really bad. But I just thought, you know what, I just need to get through the first few months. It's probably just the IUD, but it did not get better. It seemed like every month again got worse with the endometriosis. I'm guessing that's what it was. It got heavier, got more painful. It got so bad that I ended up in the ER one month and I got my IUD taken out. I was honestly more scared of having another period than getting pregnant again. Like, I know there's a big long commitment with that, but I was terrified because my periods really got so much worse every month and I was miserable. The last one I had before I got pregnant, I did not think I could do another one. I know I could have, obviously, but it was really just awful. So the endometriosis, yes, was coming back. But what about PCOS? Here's the crazy thing. I think my PCOS is cured. I'm not even kidding. I think it's gone. The last time I got an ultrasound, I did still have polycystic ovaries. However, symptoms show a different story. My periods have been consistent. The first couple were a little bit off. There was like one that was 30 days, one that was 23 days. But since then, they have been, I kid you not, this has never happened to me in my life. They've been 28 days. They were 28 days, 4 months in a row before I got pregnant. And that is not common with PCOS. That is not normal with PCOS. Usually with PCOS, you have very long periods or no periods at all. And mine were coming every 28 days. And on top of that, I used to get ovarian cysts rupturing almost every month. That didn't seem to be happening anymore, at least not to my knowledge. Maybe it was with my endometriosis and I couldn't tell, but based on past experience, I don't think I was rupturing any cysts. And I was testing ovulation, was ovulating every single month, 2 weeks before my period start, which also did not happen before. And one more thing, after I had this happen with my first child and my second, I did absolutely nothing to lose weight. I didn't try to eat well. I didn't try to exercise more. I just listened to my body, and I do have multiple chronic illnesses. I have a lot of fatigue and pain and things all over my body. And so although I like to exercise, I don't go heavy. I do some light yoga, but honestly, just playing with my kids is like the majority of my exercise. And for food, I did not eat well the last year, if we're all being honest. I've been on every diet you can think of. Before I had kids, I did paleo, keto, vegan, plant-based. I've tried all of it, and I wouldn't lose a single pound. Before I got pregnant with my daughter, I was never one to be overweight. I was probably 15 pounds heavier than I am today before I got pregnant the first time. But because of my other chronic illnesses, I went on some very strict diets and was eating next to nothing and still would not lose weight. I always stayed in the same range or would gain weight. But before I had kids, I never lost weight. And then after I had my kids, I just lost all this weight. I don't know what happened. I used to be between 135 and 140, sometimes even upwards of 145, and I am 5'3", so I'm pretty short. So I was average. I wasn't overweight, but I now am around the 120 range, doing literally nothing. I have not been eating good. I have not been exercising, and my body just lost all this weight even after I finished nursing. So all the signs are pointing to PCOS is not really part of the party anymore. And of course, the last thing to show how things have changed since I had kids is that I got pregnant again super quick. I got pregnant 2 months after getting my IUD taken out. And honestly, I think it might be gone. I think my PCOS might be cured. So we'll see after this baby what happens long term. Of course, I'll keep you updated over the next few years as I have this baby and things return again and everything, but I feel pretty good. I am pregnant now, which is very, very exciting. And my last 2 pregnancies, I did videos of how I got pregnant with PCOS and endometriosis. This time, I did nothing. I mean, I did something. You get it. But I didn't do anything special. I didn't go on any diet. I didn't take any medication. I didn't do anything but the normal things that people do, and it happened. So I think I might be cured with the PCOS. The endometriosis, I'm a little terrified for that to come back. Of course, I got a solid 2 years before that's going to come back, and I have to worry about that. But PCOS, you guys, I think it's cured. I think we're good. Is that crazy to say? I don't think I've ever used the word cured before on my YouTube channel because I have lots of health problems. And yet, here we are, using the word cured. I literally think it's gone. I feel like a completely different person than I did before I had kids. So, hopefully that gives someone hope who's living with PCOS and wants to have a baby, because I did it multiple times. We're on baby number 3, and this one was no problem. My last one also was no problem. And I think after having a baby, my body just kind of regulated itself, and now it's all on board for having those little babies. So I hope you join me on my pregnancy journey. If you're not yet subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I would love to see you here. I'm doing a pregnancy update every single week, and I am so excited for another baby. I know I'm crazy for having more kids, but I just love children so much. So we're doing it. Here we go. I hope you join me. See you soon.